See my hands and look at my feet. It's okay if it's hard to believe.
Taylor Cain is one of 3 siblings that make up the popular contemporary Christian music group, Cain. But there was a time when Taylor thought she may never sing again. In 2015, she went on a mission trip to Honduras.
The plan was to repair things in their villages, just to be around, and whatever they needed, that's what we were gonna do. And so we got to sing songs about Jesus.
By the time she returned home to Alabama, she began feeling ill.
It was alarming how much I was vomiting. I would stand up out of the bed and I knew I had my routine of like, I couldn't keep anything down.
Her parents eventually took her to a hospital in Huntsville, where doctors tried to diagnose the source of the virus that was now attacking her kidneys and immune system.
The ER doctor called my parents back and he was like, okay, here's the deal. So your creatinine level, they said right now you're at an 8.2 and your kidneys fail after 3.
It was a condition called acute tubular necrosis, which can cause severe kidney failure. We see it commonly. In her case, I think it was likely caused by severe dehydration.
That's when we were felt devastated that, oh wow, we're in serious trouble.
Taylor's parents, her then boyfriend Stephen, and her siblings began contacting people to pray.
It really grew like wildfire. Thousands and thousands, literally around the world, were praying for her.
There was this cloud hovering over the whole group. We know the God that we sing about, we know the God we hope that comes through, but here we are for the first time, like standing at the edge of the Jordan.
There was one night when my family, they were really tough, and we all kind of had the same, like, faith, just faith only, but then everybody just started to cry, and I just was like, what am I missing? Like, am I dying? Is this really happening? They came into the room in the middle of the night, and they, like, turned her on her side because her blood pressure had spiked, and they kept saying septic, septic. I think she's getting septic. I remember leaving and going into the hallway and just crying because it just felt like more bad news.
Although things did not look hopeful, Taylor's family continued to stand in faith for her healing.
Faith is the substance of things hoped for. We just said, this is not what we see, this is what we want. And we want Taylor to be healed, and not because Taylor's special, but because God wants us all healed.
At one point, a nurse began relating the possible outcomes.
When you shoot for the most devastating thing, it robs you of your hope. They sent this lady in, bless her heart, to prepare us for a lifetime of dialysis. And I kept trying to tell her, man, we just can't hear this right now. She kept just going with it. No, I think you need to hear this. No, I think you need to hear this. Finally, I just said, not another word.
Taylor was scheduled for a surgery to install the port for her dialysis. But before they did one more kidney biopsy.
Taylor was being prepped for a permanent portal in her neck to have chemotherapy and dialysis the rest of her life. And this medicine was going to destroy every dream my girl could possibly have. It was going to make her hair fall out. It was going to make her gain weight, ruin her voice as a singer, and make her sterile so she couldn't have children.
Even if I got a transplant, that wouldn't stop the autoimmune. My body was attacking my kidneys.
Just before she went to surgery, the doctor came in with the results from the biopsy.
Mom runs out into the hallway, and then she comes back, and she's like, he just told me he canceled your surgery. He was like, your kidney biopsy came back completely clean. Your kidneys look, they've never been better. And he was like, you're gonna recover on your own. I remember I stood up on my hospital bed with my IV bag, we were hugging and screaming. It was like just the biggest celebration.
You know, it was a real emotional moment for him. I know there were a lot of people praying for her at the time, and I think those prayers were answered.
In 2020, the group signed a major record deal and have since landed 2 #1 hits and won a K-Love Award for Breakout Single of the Year.
She, along with her brother and sister, are singing and ministering around the world. And I'm just so thankful that we had the word in us and we had the prayers of people surrounding us to fight that.
To that point, our music career was everything we cared about. And in that moment, we had to reprioritize our lives and say, like, okay, well, if she cannot, we won't without her, so we won't.
Yeah.
Because we'd rather have her than whatever comes from music.
My spirit is with you wherever you go. You have a purpose.
I am beyond thankful that for the last 6 years, I have been singing nonstop. And what the enemy tried to take from me, it's like it has just rocketed. Prayers work, they work. Ask people to pray for you and like really believe that anything is possible.
But good